Autokab, yeah. Whether it's 8 to 4 working at the grocery store, or it's 9 to 5 at the 5 and dime, or it's overtime like all the time, they got your motherfucking name on the dotted line. Whether assembly line or that factory, or committing petty crimes, you just stacking cheese just so another freaking man can breathe so comfortably and lavishly. I'm like, there has to be a better way for me to find a getaway from yesterday, cause yesterdays are just today's with better names. Been getting paid in peanuts like a pachyderm. Back is permanently out of whack from all the damage of this atlas curse. This planet turns on digits separated by some commas. Fuck what Biggie Mason Diddy said, I gladly have more problems. Some are jobless and homeless, so I guess I should be grateful. Boss ain't never in the office, I get 15 in the break. From slave to the television, slave to the nicotine, slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, yo, I'm a slave to the machine. I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the television, slave to the nicotine, slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, I'm a slave to the machine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, the second anniversary of my death, no progress toward the crest, I confess. My life's a mess, pack up and head west. In my head for 2 years, see I've already been dead. There's been enough said about me and my debts to society that I can't blame you for not hiring me. I save you the pain of firing me. I'm trying to be beyond what they call entry level, but despite the holes I dig, I can't put down the shovel. See, I've slipped to the rock bottom, middle class problems, yeah, I got them. I took my dreams and shot them into the solar system. Direction of fortune, I missed them, and past employers, yeah, I kissed them goodbye. No matter how hard I try, just a 30-year-old guy still trying to figure out why I built 100-foot walls around my mind to keep myself locked inside. Deep inside these lies, the fear resides. Cause I'm a slave to the industry, slave to the misery, a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, yo, I'm a slave to the machine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the television, to the nicotine, a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, I'm a slave to the machine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. I've been shining since before a twinkle in my daddy's eye. I can't decide if this little wrinkle in this span of time is reality or dream. I'm balancing these beams, it seems too challenging to be accomplished. Counseling the sea of monsters up in this noggin is impossible. I promise I'm on autopilot. Coffee's on and then it's off to office. Balls on a string on some ladder golf shit. So I call Dr. C and get that Adderall script. Yo, your light might seem more than a little bit dimmer when you're pushing 35, smoking cigarettes for dinner. It's a cold, cruel world in the middle of the winter. I'm just waiting for the day that all these sins will be delivered, cause I know where I'm going when it's over, man. It's obvious, it's helium and hockey sticks for me at the apocalypse, so hopefully it's frozen. I'll be Miroslav, skating for the hat trick, waiting with the spirits not taking. Yo, I'm a slave to the television, slave to the nicotine, a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, I'm a slave to the machine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the television, I'm a slave to the nicotine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Yo, I'm a slave to the man, I'm a slave to the machine, I'm a slave to this routine, American dream. Autokab.
Welcome to Artist Spotlight. I'm here with Autokab. Say what's up, guys.
How you doing, everybody?
First thing I gotta ask is about the name. How'd you come up with that?
It's basically an old psychiatric term, and it refers to the study of somebody or a person committing suicide by means of jumping off something tall. Starting, it was going to be a real dark, just hip hop CD, but it's evolved into something completely different since then.
Like, we had our vision for Autokab and what we wanted to do with it, and we met Bobby and like saw his art, and we're like, hey, let's do something together, paint with us, and like his style of art fit exactly our vision for Autokab. And so from there it was just like, you know what, now this is more than a hip-hop record. This is a traveling road show.
And it seems to be progressing pretty darn well.
Yeah, definitely.
What's inspiring that right now?
Well, like, especially here in Rochester, is just the that energy that's still around, that everybody wants to keep trying new things and collaborating and seeing new forms of art. And I think that's what's really helping it, is like the want by a lot of like-minded people in town to get some really genuine culture going, has helped, and that's why where shows are popping up and a lot of people are trying, experimental shows or whatever, where they want to invite acts like us or like what we do, and because of that.
Yeah. And what's your guys' connection to Minnesota?
I grew up in Wisconsin. I've been in Minnesota. I went to college here. I went to grad school here, and then through a first job out of college in Winona, I met Random. And so we kind of connected on that level in Winona, and then I moved to La Crosse, and from there I came to Rochester, and this is really where this whole thing grew. So this is our home spot, you know what I mean? Like, Bobby still lives here. I'm in St. Paul now, and he's in Winona, but Rochester is our hub. And because of that energy, and because there's a lot of people here who are receptive to what we're doing right now. So
yeah, with that force right now, what are you wanting people to take away from what you're doing?
Bobby embodies what I see Autokab and Autokab Elisa says. It's not a thing about suicide or killing yourself, but it's more of killing your programming and killing your conditioning. And this man here, he paints. He's an artist for a living. You know what I mean? I got a 9-to-5. He's got a 9-to-5, and so I kind of envy this man in that way. But that's kind of where I'm striving to be with Autokab and with everything I do going forward is to be part of this system on my own terms.
Yeah, and I think also what we're trying to accomplish and really get across is like just trying new things, experimenting with new things. Not only the whole 9-to-5 thing that he was talking about, but also like the way in which we express our art. You know what I mean? And the way we do it. Like, let's just change the whole thing up. Let's even change that protocol or status quo or whatever,
Exactly.
We have our stuff going on. This is what we're going to write about. Like, we're embodying a lot of stuff with this, and hopefully that's going to connect with people on a lot of levels moving forward.
What's the best way for people to connect with you guys now? How do we reach you?
We're on Twitter, autokabnow, AUTOKABNOW. You can, if you're interested in getting us at one of your venues or do anything Autokab based, you can email us at autokabnow@gmail.com.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming down and doing your thing and expressing that, and can't wait to see you guys do your thing.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that's another Artist Spotlight. We'll see y'all next time for the next one.
Father was a ghost, an imaginary figure, not a picture, not a memory, just an entity. Her mother was there physically, but never mentally. Essentially, you could say she grew up on her own. She's just a troubled mind, lost in time, hampered by the roots of bad examples in her travels. She's got scrambled theories, fears, and curiosities, constantly questioning the reason she should possibly be living, reminiscing on how it was or could have been if things were different, things she didn't do she should have. She looks at her life in sort of a radioactive light, so the way she glows, you never know the pain she holds inside, a dark soul, forsaken, faking nonetheless. Drugs and sex filling that hole that stays vacant. Aching, she cries out quietly for help, cause deep inside she knows she's slowly ruining herself. But she won't show her tears, so no one hears her cry. Alone she sits, just asking herself why. She won't show her tears, so no one hears her cry. Cause the wounded won't walk without the crutch, without the wounded. The crutch has no purpose, the slightest touch bruises. Tighten the nooses of life as it loses the sight that it uses, the side that it chooses. No, the wounded won't walk without the crutch, without the wounded. The crutch has no purpose and the slightest touch it bruises. Tighten the nooses of life as it loses the sight that it uses, the side that it chooses. From the cigarettes and booze, to the years of drug abuse, to the sex with random dudes whose names she never knew. From them superficial wounds, to that poorly crafted noose. Stood her there confused, stuck, afraid to move. By herself, she's all alone, without a face to call her home, without a place to calm her soul. She's lost control, cause karma's cold, no cars to fold. Heart and soul's been bleeding, screaming for a medic, cause harboring those demons got her feeling so pathetic. Let it be, let it rain, let it bleed, let it stain, let it seep, let it drain, let it creep inside her veins, cause that intravenous pain don't fade away. There's no mistake, you know the injuries sustained don't make the day no motivation, cause the wounded won't walk without the crutch, without the wounded. The crutch has no purpose, and the slightest touch it bruises. Tighten the nooses of life as it loses the sight that it uses, the side that it chooses. No, the wounded won't walk without the crutch, without the wounded. The crutch has no purpose, and the slightest touch it bruises. Tighten the nooses of life as it loses the sight that it uses, the side. The wounded won't walk without the crutch. No, the wounded won't walk without the crutch. Wounded won't walk without the crutch. Crutch.
Pour a little more gin from the jar, pour a little more flame on the star, pour a little more gas in my heart, lit a flame to that bitch, let it burn off the scars. And wanna be rock stars, chasing after the stars with 16 bars, trying to prove that we hard, cause they say if we aren't in this man's world, we won't go very far. Man, fuck your rules, I stand on the stool with my neck in a noose. Jumps to prove I can break these rules, ain't nothing you can do, I give a fuck if I win or I lose. Already punked 2 fools and Wisco let loose, had them dancing in their shoes, dropping their drawers, and 5 years forward, now they're waiting to see what the fuck I got in store. And quite honestly, I'm bored, honestly ignored ever since I drove the Ford Escort. Was never assured I would reach the doors of the rhymes.